I'ma mix your lean with some Grimlock. When the last time you heard it this raw? What I wish for's when the earth inherited by the piss poor. We been to war, them the ones I'm taking risks for. Ain't got no picks or no cars to hold. Holy angels watch my steps, them Glock guard my soul. Can't let them leave my body cold. I know you feel me, nigga. Let the wicked weep and the meek prevail. God never been 50-50. I shall now awake and sleep a cell. Let the righteous cry, silence the pretender. A rebel without a cause, as long as I remember. Not taking the kingdom, the only thing on my agenda. Can't avoid me, nigga. Middle finger to the ones that try to destroy me. Revenge of beauty, I'm a beast. I told the bitch she can't eat, let she join me for dinner. My God ain't got no regard for a sinner. One call fall on him like timber. I know you feel me, nigga. In the eyes of terror, I stand still. Go to work for the colony, bring it back to the anthill. Plus everything I drop heavy as an anvil. Show you how to stand like a man in this damn field. I know you feel me, nigga. Fuck equality, it gotta be one man win and the rest lose. Wave devastator, I'm calculating my next move. U.P.K will real niggas seek refuge. Body shots for bars, that'll get you bruised. My niggas whole ranker, check your little attitudes. I came to fuck up your move on your little holiday like I'm Mr. Scrooge. Resurrected from the grave, walking from the fall. Visions in my eyes, gripping the mic, screaming God bless the underdog, down by the letter. And live by that protocol, walk by faith, not by sight. Ain't no hope in getting struggles. Life like double war, resist or get pulled into a world that never left you. I will endure, election will be sure, correction will be swift. No Will Smith, but I am legend. What else would you call the killer of deception? A leader got soldiers on post in every direction. On gold like a German shepherd, young and a restless, swear honor like a diamond necklace. I know you feel me, nigga.
Your track.
It's rolling on it. What is it?
Your tracks today.
Know the people been waiting for a minute for something authentic. Came in the truth and bossed in it, made niggas regroup. Had to shed light on the false image. U.P.K whole court. Now who the fuck won scrimmage? 2 words for soft niggas. What is good riddance? Don't affiliate with feminine symptoms. I know you feel me, nigga. This a death threat, no war. Them the ones I'm taking risks for. Ain't got no picks or no cars to hold. Holy angels watch my steps. Them Glock. God never been 50-50. I shall now awake and sleep a cell. Let the righteous cry, silence the pretender. A rebel without a cause, as long as I remember. Not taking the kingdom, the only thing on my agenda. Can't avoid me, nigga. Middle finger to the ones that try to destroy me. Revenge of beauty, I'm a beast. I told the bitch she can't eat, let she join me for dinner. My God ain't got no regard for a sinner. One call fall on him like timber. I know you feel me, nigga. In the eyes of terror, I stand still. Go to work for the colony, bring it back to the anthill. Plus everything I drop heavy as an anvil. Show you how to stand like a man in this damn field. I know you feel me, nigga. Fuck equality, it gotta be one man win and the rest lose. Wave devastator, I'm calculating my next move. U.P.K will real niggas seek refuge. Body shots for bars, that'll get you bruised. My niggas whole ranker, check your little I am legend. What else would you call the killer of deception? A leader got soldiers on post in every direction. On gold like a German shepherd, young and a restless, swear honor like a diamond necklace. I know you feel me, nigga.
Purchase your tracks today.
It's rolling on it. What is it?
So we good? We live right now? All right. Hey, Shalom, Hachaanakah to all the brothers. Shalom, Hachaanakah to the sisters. This is the I.S.U.P.K. out of 125th Hall of New York under Commander GEN.YAHANNA, man. And I'm absolutely honored. To be able to bring this glorious and be able to be at the helm of this glorious occasion. You know what I'm saying? Under Commander GEN.YAHANNA and I.S.U.P.K. You know, that we do every year. You know what I'm saying? We do it absolutely every year to recognize some people, man. Like, you know, America teaches everybody to be weak.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not to be soldiers, not to be men. To say that masculinity is toxic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what America teaches you. That masculinity is toxic and it's wrong to be strong. And we're going to recognize some people in the scriptures that went against that did not bow weak and fold under oppression. And make excuses for not serving the Most High and not doing the thing that they know the Lord wants them to do. Falling weak under a woman or under crack or under, you know, whatever other sexual deviant, drug addiction, you know, alcohol, you know, whatever, man, pimping. Like, everybody has their afflictions, right? Everybody has their thing that, you know, we had great man fall, you know, but we today, we're going to recognize some great men and a sister, too, that stood so strong and diligent, man. And this story, you know, every time I hear it, man, like every time is like the first time I hear it, man. It absolutely breaks your heart when you read about this family, these 7 brothers, this sister in the Maccabees, man, who stood for something, who was willing to give their life. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Hachaanakah should be called the Maccabees, about the other blacks did, you know, with the Indian slaves. Martin Luther King had a dream of when we were holy day, but it is a dream. You know what I'm saying? And not just them. You know, also at this time, you'll hear about a brother named Matthias. We all know about that brother as well. You know what I'm saying? Because as great as the story, or the story of the brothers, you know what I'm saying, the 7 brothers and their mother who died for the Most High, that's not the story that started the revolution. You know what I'm saying? You will find out that in that same Maccabees, I believe in chapter 2, right? My historian back there, Matthias, that's Maccabees 2, right? Right. You know what I'm saying? That it goes into Matthias is where the revolution started from. Because he did something that, you know what I'm saying, spiritually, that was absolutely so glorious. And that's the spirit we should be in to get the revolution. Like I said, and we don't get into what he did, I don't want to give it away. But Matthias did something that started the revolution. The story we're going to get into about in the Maccabees, that's absolutely glorious. Unfortunately, how heartwarming and how angry the story is, how glorious the story is. It did not start the revolution. Man, the one after that, Matthias, is what actually started. You know what I'm saying? And maybe because he had the opportunity to. Because in the first place, I don't even know if the opportunity was there. Because everybody, you know, kind of like, hey, you know, stood up and did what they had to do. But in Matthias, it was one person who was able to be made an example out of. But go ahead, you tell me about the.
You know, he, like you said, he sparked it. Everybody else was afraid. He sparked it. He rose up and did something that was a serious offense to the Grecians. Yeah.
And so we're going to get into it. It's not a class, this is a celebration. So everybody eat, grab your drinks, grab your food. You know what I'm saying? We got some tons of great food. And then I know some more drinks are coming. But grab your things, you know, keep the voices down, though. Keep the voices down while y'all doing that. Keep it to a whisper because we live. But grab your food and enjoy this day, man, because this is a celebration. The class is just added to it, man, to let you know why we celebrate today. And if you have any questions, you know what I'm saying, or anything that you've seen before, right, that's off topic, it don't got to be on topic, we can answer a few questions. Anybody online, y'all online, you got any questions, comments, concerns, you know what I'm saying, whatever, so put them in the chat, get to it, man, because this is absolutely gorgeous. One of my, like I said, I love the story. Like I said, I love and hate at the same time. It's so much, man, that goes into it. But it's absolutely necessary because, like I said, from all the history we learned in school, we don't hear about these people. And we don't hear about this story that should absolutely be remembered. You know what I'm saying? These stories, I should say. But so if there's no questions, did you see anything online? If there's no questions, like I said, you don't got to be on this topic. If y'all got questions about anything else, something that, you had questions about coming in or something you've seen, we can get all the questions because, like I said, this is just a celebration. We can get into it. We'll get into why we celebrate this day and why Hachaanakah, what they eerily call, Hanukkah, is so glorious. So, I want to start there because I want to, because it is actually a little bit before that when we wanted to make exercise. Right. Remember when we wanted to make exercise, and people don't know, this story, if we go back to the beginning, it was because we asked for oppression. You know what I'm saying? We asked them to, hey, we want to serve your God. We want to worship and do the things that you do. But then it became too much. You know what I'm saying? Like now, it's like, okay, yeah, we want to celebrate Christmas. We want to do your drugs. We want to do your pimping. But y'all want to put your knee on our. Open yourself, what they call a Pandora's box. Right. When you open yourself up to, you want to capitulate to their ideas and customs and culture. You want a little bit, like you say, we give you an inch, you take a mile. And that's what they did to us. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we asked for. We asked for that. You know what I'm saying? Like before that projects, people think, projects is horrible. Black people asked for the projects. Back then they called it affordable housing. Before the projects is what they are today, it was affordable housing. We begged for affordable housing. You see what I'm saying? And so and this is not something that's new. Back then, and it was at a time we asked for them to come through and we, give us exercise. We wanted to be a part of Greek culture and wrestling naked. And that's what they was doing. That's what they, all the, I think they call it the Olympics now. Now it's the Olympics. But that comes back from when they was trying to get us to, we was the ones fighting them arenas. Right. You know what I'm saying? We was the ones, that they put to death to fight. Right. And it's like, okay, after we asked for this, now y'all want to say, it's too much. My life matters. Black lives. It sounds very familiar. Right. It's all so familiar. You know what I mean? And we got to see that's where we are now. Go ahead, brother. That's
so true right there. They used the chief men to do that also. Mm-hmm. It was almost like having a team meeting. Where you see the celebrities and stars doing what they do and everybody follows suit. These dudes are like they were, it said also too that they lost heart, that they couldn't hold the priest office and all that. Mm. They had a bunch of Levite brothers actually starting this, and everybody followed suit behind that. Right. Started getting in the Olympics, started getting in the sport, the game of discus and all of that.
Right. And that's what it's about. And that's what Martin Luther King did, Jesse Jackson did. Right. Like that's our, what he just said, that's our leaders this day. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into the story. Let's go into Maccabees, man. We're going to go into first Maccabees. Let's go into the, we'll get into, which one is it? Is it Maccabees?
Oh, I'm not sure.
We'll get straight into it. Because it's in one, I might be going into the wrong order, but I want to get into this story, man. Like I said, it absolutely breaks your heart. It absolutely does with these brothers. But I don't want you to never forget, and that we asked for this. This was the cutting that gives hope for this society. I think me and the brothers was just talking about Megan Thee Stallion, she is the white man's whore. Right. Like I said, she's a whore. She's what we would call if you were the pimp, but you're the bottom B. Like she's the one to get all the other chicks to follow suit and say this is the standard of whoredom that you need to reach. Right. This is what you need to do to be the top whore. I'm the top, and everybody follow me. So this is what you need to follow. Right. And then she's just another level.
Right.
I was talking about, like, back in the world, Meg would be any pimps, bottom B.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Bottom B. That's who she'd be. You know what I'm saying? Because she had that effect to teach women and to make women look up to her, to want to live up to her status.
Right.
Make twerking seem like, man, we need to twerk anywhere. We need to twerk in restaurants, at the grocery store, at the doctor's office. You know what I'm saying? At the warehouse, we need to twerk everywhere. And now they condemning people like soon they're gonna be a protest against twerking in restaurants. Right? You know what I mean? Like, that's the next step, because it's like she done got twerking to the point where it's against the law, like it's unlawful not to twerk. To be too twerk or to not too twerk. Like, what the hell? But she is the whore of Babylon. You know what I mean? The whore of Babylon. I don't know if y'all remember Vampire. You know what I'm saying? Like, evil is good. You know what I'm saying? And she is that, for this society, man. She teaching all the other women to be whores, to be promiscuous, to not be modest. And that's what she see in making it okay, because she's making money with it, like she doing. Now everybody else gonna do it. You look at that video in that restaurant, there was one person started twerking, and then the brother who stopped the twerking, they got him on camera like, so you must be against twerking. Like, brother, I'm not against twerking. If you want to twerk in the club, you want to twerk in wherever, but you cannot twerk in my family restaurant. This is a classy, place. Like, we got families here, children coming here. Grandmamas and mamas who, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
They came in for a meal. They didn't come here to get their husbands, you know what I'm saying, seduced. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Hooters. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. You understand what I'm saying?
They're inside a place where people are eating food on top of that.
On cemetery, yeah?
Yeah, you be sweaty behind. Like when we eat in restaurants.
Right. So no, man. So that's the time that we living in, man. It's like, are you going to be a whore for America? You got to see, like I said, the sister is a beautiful sister. Megan is beautiful out on the outward side, beautiful. But that's what they have to do. That nobody wants to marry her. And she done been ran through by the industry and beat down. How she's talking about like how Beyonce was, like it changed that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? All the single ladies, so let me put the do-rag on, let me brush your waves. Let me, it was a whole other tune when you done being a whore. You know what I'm saying? You get the money, it's like, nah, I don't want to be a whore no more. You know what I'm saying? I want to, man, what you got to do, cater to you. That's probably over some of y'all heads. I try my head when all the twerking is done. When her knees has been given out. And she's like I think I've led my people into a burning house. She gonna be sound like Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes, I think I've led my people into a burning house. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on, man. But today, like I said, it's an absolute celebration of some people who did not do that. In the midst of this, in the hell, in the midst of being in poverty and persecution.
First Maccabees chapter.
Starting to it.
You ready?
Go ahead, what you got?
Yeah. First Maccabees chapter 4, verse 52. In the 8th year, according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings, which they had made. At what time and what day the heathen had profaned it.
And I don't know when the next high holy day is.
Right.
And that's what it's for. It's not to worship the doggone moon, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is talking about. And it's the scripture that that moon is just something that's going to decrease. Forget that scripture, but we'll grab that too. That new moon is not to be worshipped or celebrated. It's just a moon to let you know when to start counting the days for the next high holy day.
What time and what day the heathens and hearts in the God of heaven, who had given them good success. Verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days and offered burnt offerings with gladness and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Okay. So it seems like it's going after, you know what I'm saying? It's saying, like, I want to get that story of the 7 brothers. I think it's, give me that, the start of it, the first brother that died for not eating than eating the pork. You know what I'm saying? In Maccabees, I believe it started second Maccabees, if I'm not mistaken. And then we can go back. But I want to get that because it's like I said, that story is the reason for all of that. You know what I'm saying? If it was coming up, I don't want to go off too quick if it was coming up in there. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was the second Maccabees. And I'll try to find it. Bear with us. But this is what the Feast of Dedication, you know what I'm saying, is all about. Dedicated. This feast is dedicated to these brothers and this sister who, you know what I'm saying, it shows such courage.
Yeah, give me a second, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? That shows such courage and in a horrible time. You know what I'm saying?
1 second.
But, you got
it's Second Maccabees 7 chapter 7.
huh?
Second Maccabees chapter 7.
Second Maccabees chapter 7.
Yeah.
Let him do it.
Yeah. Second Maccabees. I believe.
It should be right there. It's not. It's right here. Yeah, it's all good. Let's get it.
Give me a second.
Select one on meeting.
Second floor.
Yeah. So this is a second Maccabees. We're gonna get into this story from the second Maccabees.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Which one? Where is it at? So I can give it to the people.
I'm going to start at verse 1.
You said what?
Yeah, I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
What, verse 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this story, like I said, man, is an amazing story. We want to get this out, and then I said the whole story.
Second Maccabees chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
Compelled against the king of what?
Against the law to taste swine's flesh.
To taste swine's flesh. Okay? Let's put that in your mind. This is what these brothers did against swine. This ain't against whoredom, prostitution, alcoholism, homosexuality. Who y'all think is so much worse when it's all the same in the Lord's eyes. And these brothers knew that.
Right.
Against swine's flesh. But that's against the what?
Come. And compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
Compelled by the king against the law to taste swine's flesh. And if you know anything about Israel, sometimes we had kings that was righteous, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes we had kings that were unrighteous, who ruled over us. Right. This is a time of an unrighteous king who tried to get us to eat pork, who tried to get us to do evil. Because, we in America, I'm sure you know what I'm saying. You understand, we have evil kings who rule over us at this point. Let's go.
And were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them that spake first said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die.
Right, so they were already tormented with scourges and whips. And the whip look, what is your point here? What are you trying to get? What is your point? What are you trying to learn? What? We ready to die because you're trying to get us to eat pork. But then you got to think about what people are willing to sell out themselves for now. Right. They talking about pork. Says we're not going to eat swine's flesh. Right. They getting whipped and beat. But what are we selling out for? Think about the things that you do sell out for. Right. Think about the things that you sell out for. Think about, the whoredom that you commit. Think about the lies that you tell. Think about those things when we sit here remembering these brothers and this sister who didn't sell out over pork, which would seem like a small thing. Right. Well, if you look at the scripture, the Lord called it an abomination. Right. It's not small to the Most High. That's why they went so hard about life. Mm-hmm. And the Lord also said what? There's one sin ain't greater than the other. Right. If you broke one sin, you broke them all. Right?
I believe it's in James. If you offend one law, you offend all.
Somebody grab this on the people in the back. I want to give it to them. Just grab that scripture so they can get some context of what the Lord had to say about this. You know what I mean? If you offend in one law, you offend in them all. This ain't something that we made up. It's in that Bible. Dust it off. Go in there and dust it off and read it. It's in James. You said James might be James, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna get it. But these brothers,
I got you.
like I said, was just a terrible story, man. Like I said, it's a beautiful story, but it's so it breaks your heart, man. Like, cause you know, I put myself there, and then that woman, the mother, like how cold she was. I said, if y'all ain't, this should be a story that's told in every black household. Like tell the story, teach the story to your children about how to be courageous, how to stand on something or fall for anything. You know what I'm saying? Teach them this story and never let them forget it. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Oh, I got the precept.
You got the precept? You got the precept. Anybody else get the precept? Because you was reading the story, one.
Yeah, I can do both.
I know, but we got, you know.
Oh, my bad. James,
come on now.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Like, we got a lot of, you know, yeah, I'm saying. Keep going on that until they get it.
Come. Verse 2. But one of them that spake first said, Thus, what wouldst thou ask to learn of us? We are ready to die.
We are ready to die. These brothers are ready to die for what they believed in. And if we had enough people who were ready to die for black people and for what we believed in, when I say blacks, I mean the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. All of us together are the same people from 12 different tribes. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't willing to stand for something, you're going to fall for anything.
Right.
You know, you're going to fall for anything, man. Anybody going to be able to come beguile you, and you're going to be nigh to Eve. That's where that word comes, naive. Mm-hmm. Like Eve in the garden, you're going to be naive and be beguiled, and and you're going to have a husband who you're going to be, after you been beguiled, come and tell him, he's going to look at God and say, that woman you gave me, I did eat. You know, I did listen to her, and I did what she told me to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? He didn't want to be that guy. Pointing the finger on the stand like, hey, picture me. It reminds me of that brother, that meme that's out. And the dude is pointing on and sitting on the stand and pointing. And he goes sit there and point at his own wife like, go ahead, man. So,
Obviously, I got James.
You got James, let's get it.
James, chapter 2, verse 10. For whosoever shall keep the whole law.
Whosoever should keep the whole law. All right, you keep the whole law. All right, that's one thing. Keep going.
And yet offend in one point.
And yet break one of them. That's the point. Yet you break one. You want to act like one is better than the other. What did the Lord have to say about that? Let's get it.
He is guilty of all.
He is what?
Guilty of all.
One more time for the people in the back.
He is guilty of all.
I'm guilty of all of them. So when you think about what these brothers did and this amazing sister, what she did in these Maccabees, think about that. The Lord, you did, he look at all of them the same. You do one, like you should be moving throughout your day every day thinking like, man, the Lord ain't gonna like it if I do this. Like all your decisions should be, what would the Lord think? Forget what your friend would think, what would the Lord think about what I'm finna do right now? Right. That's how you should on this. Y'all ready to die. Let's see how much these brothers and sisters and the sister was ready to die. Keep going.
Verse 4.
Which for context? This is pork. This is your Christmas ham.
Right.
You know, you ate Christmas and turkey ham. Yeah, I'm sure you ate that ham for Thanksgiving the other day, didn't you? Yeah, you ate that ham. You did. You listen right here. You ate it. You know you did. This brother got his tongue cut out for not doing it. So any horrible things you go through, any problems and pain, any illnesses you going through, Most High in Christ. That was thus says the Lord. Because this brother got his tongue cut out for the ham that you dipped in ranch sauce. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
And to cut out the utmost parts of his body.
And cut out the what?
The utmost parts of his body.
The utmost parts of his body. So he got his tongue cut out and the utmost parts of his body. So the utmost part is your arms and your hands. You know what I'm saying? You know, the utmost parts. You know?
Because he didn't want to eat.
Because he didn't want to. Give her a hand. Let's keep it. You see? Keep that in mind. I want you to keep that in mind when you complaining about your situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This brother went through this for not wanting to eat pork. And you complaining about not having your bills paid properly, not having the biggest TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about what you complaining about and what you sin for. And think about these people who decided not to sin for that pork sandwich.
Right.
That pork chop sandwich from the pastor.
Right.
Because that's who the king was. When he like the pastor, you know, he refused the pork chop sandwich from the pastor. But you can't refuse to go to Target for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't stop that. And then wondering why you going through hell. You're going to learn today. Keep going.
Come. The rest of his brother and his mother looking on.
The rest of his brother and his mother looking on. For the first person, man, what you waiting on? Let's get it going. What you trying to learn? They cut out his tongue, cut off his arms, cut off his fingers, his hands, and something, you know, his upper parts. It wasn't his life because, you know, they chopped off his head or something, you know. But they tried to make an example of it. Right. So cut out his tongue, cut off his hands and arms. Keep going.
Come. Now when he was thus mind, you want to say that word? Mind?
Where we at?
Verse 5. Mind in all his members, he commanded him.
Man. I'm sure that's man.
Yeah, come. Now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him being yet alive to be brought to the fire.
So he maimed. So he's still, like I said, he's still alive. He just cut off things to keep him alive. Now he's maimed. You know what I'm saying? Like they call it mauled. You know, you get mauled by he's still alive. They did all this horrible to you. So that was 5. You said that was 2 Maccabees 5 and what?
2 Maccabees chapter 7 verse 5.
7 verse 5. Okay. So now he's maimed. Maimed of all his members. All his members is maimed. He said what after he was maimed?
Come. And he commanded him being yet alive to be brought to the fire.
Now you're being brought to the fire alive. Man, tongue cut out, fingers and arms cut out. Over pork.
Right.
Remember what he didn't see and busted over? Now you busted over for no reason. He can't even kick you out right now. So you know what I mean? But this brother didn't do it for a pork sandwich. You ate a pork sandwich on the way to bust it over for the reason. Let's keep going.
And to be fried in a pan.
And to be fried what?
And to be fried in the pan.
And to be fried in the pan.
And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed.
And this, like I said, we think don't get it to it. This was 25,000 years ago. Not 10,000. 2,500 years ago. 3,000 years ago that this happened. But they was cooking people back in 1611.
Right.
The Atlantic slave trade. They was cooking brothers over in the slavery. I'm too out right through. They was cooking brothers. Like, so don't think, you know, this whole pan thing, you know, is something far-fetched. This is, like I said, happened back 3,000 years ago, but it also happened a little over a couple hundred years ago.
Right.
So it didn't happen with Esau and Go ahead.
Didn't we used to boil slaves in sugar because it would like stick to their skin?
You said boiling in sugar?
Yeah.
Look, I didn't even.
Yeah.
That's the Lord. I said that's what happened. You said that's where what came from?
Tar and feather came from.
I said I've heard the stories, but I know that this ain't something. But this is because that's who they are. That's the people. This is that's their custom. That's their culture. That's in their spirit.
Yeah, it was a form of punishment. In most cases, the slaves would die slowly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, from torture.
But like I said, these brothers went through this willingly over a pork sandwich. But you can't fathom it. You can't think like, man, just eat the pork sandwich. You gonna get your tongue cut out? Like, do you know what I did on my way to bust down for the landlord? Like, I had a pork sandwich. Keep going.
They exhorted one another with the mother to die, manfully saying thus.
They said, the mother said, read that part again.
They exhorted one another with the mother to die, manfully saying thus.
Manfully. Basically, die like another one, I think it was 50 cents that I rather die like a man and live like a cow. It wasn't even the sound, it was just pork. A strip of bacon, should we call it a strip? You know what I'm saying? Because you want to eat pig ass. You know what I'm saying? You ready to risk it all. Isn't that what they say? Risk it all for a piece of pig ass. Keep going.
Verse 6. The Lord God looketh upon us, and in truth have comfort in us, as Moses in his psalm, which witnessed to their faces declared, saying, and he shall be comforted in his servants.
Hold on, this is this is 7, and you said 6?
Yeah, 7 and 6.
Okay.
Right now.
Keep going.
Come. Verse 7. So when the first was dead after this number, they brought the second to make him a mocking stock.
Right. So the first was burned, tongue cut out, hands cut off, fried in the pan. Of course the second ain't gonna go. You just saw what happened to your brother over a pork sandwich. Let's see.
And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him.
They did what to him?
Come. And when they had pulled off the skin of his head with the hair, they asked him.
They pulled off his scalp. Okay? Over a pork sandwich that he refused to eat. But think about the things that you do that you know is against the Most High. That you know is against the Lord. You ain't getting your skin pulled over your head.
Right.
You ain't getting your fingers cut off, your tongue cut out, and you still sick. You might go to jail and ask for the Vaseline, that's all I'm saying. Let's say, give me a little Vaseline, I'll be all right. You might do that. Count yourself real cheap. Keep going.
Come. They asked him, will thou eat before thou be punished throughout every member of thy body?
Will you eat? Will you eat this pork sandwich? You seen what we did with your brother. We cut his tongue out, cut his fingers off, fried him in the pan. After they ripped off his scalp, they asked him,
right,
you ain't got no scalp already, brother. We ripped it off. It's done. You never have hair again. You have the stocking cap or something. I don't know what you gonna do. It's over. Rip the scalp off. They asked him, are you gonna eat the pork now? You ripped your damn scalp off, brother. Keep going. What did he say?
Come. Verse 8. But he answered in his own language.
In his own language, and said what?
Come. And said no.
No, not.
I see.
That's what the scriptures said. Everybody said he answered it. The scriptures wanted you to know that he answered in his own language. He answered in his own language and said what?
La.
He said, La. No, I will not. And he's in there with no scalp. Whole forehead ripped off. Like I said, you can't even imagine. But you don't hear about this in your history classes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't hear about these things. Like, why shouldn't this be something? This should end the pork discussion. Like, so these brothers we did like this ain't we ain't even done. This is halfway through. This is the for you to eat pork. Christ died for you to eat pork after these brothers went through this. Really? You think that's what the scriptures meant after reading this? You are disgusted and you have no knowledge.
Right.
Okay? Keep going.
Come. Wherefore, he also received the next torment in order, as the former did. Verse 9.
We know what the former received. He received fingers cut off, tongue cut out, and they added a little extra on him and ripped the scalp off. And he took all of it. Keep going.
And when he was at the last gasp, he said,
his dying breath. After all of that, he said what?
Thou like a fury takest us out of this present life.
Thou like a fury. What does that mean? What did he say? Let's think about, let's bring that to the present time. Thou like a fury taking us out of this present. Is there a little bit more to that?
Come. But the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws unto everlasting life.
What did he say in that moment? His dying breath was this. The brother who got us. He seen his brother die over a pork sandwich. Eating pork. And I keep doing that because I want you to see how pointless to suffer this. You don't have to suffer this to do the sin that you do. Nobody knows it. You do it in the privacy of your own home. Nobody knows it. You keep seeing it, but the Lord knows that you're going to pay for it. You trust and believe. Either you repent or you're going to pay. You know what I'm saying? You repent and you still going to pay. You know, but it might be, the payment might be a little less. Man. You know, it's up to the Most High. So, keep going, please.
Verse 10. After him was the third made a mocking stock, and when he was required, he put out his tongue.
No. I don't want to go there yet. I asked that question about what did that mean, what he said. What was his last breath? Read that part again real quick.
Okay. And when he was at the last gasp, he said, Thou like a fury takest us out of this present life.
Thou like a fury take us out. Give her a hand. That's exactly right. But you gotta understand it's swift. And you taking me out of this life swiftly. You a fury swift. Like you took me out real quick. Keep going.
Come. But the King of the world shall raise us up, who have died for his laws, unto everlasting life.
Right.
Verse 10. After him was the third made a mocking stock.
So after him, you gonna, and that's one thing we gotta understand. Like the reason these brothers went through this is because they knew reincarnation was real.
Right.
Did y'all hear that in there?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They knew we were. If people knew you're gonna come back, this is one of my lives. I'll be back. Mm-hmm. And that's what they knew. Like you might be able to take me out real quick now. That I'm gonna come back, and you're gonna suffer way worse than what I had to suffer today.
Right.
And that's what these brothers knew. Like they one of y'all. They Hachaanakah. Hachaanakah can't wait. He must be one of these brothers. Like he can't wait to do all type of manner of evil and pain to one of these brothers. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who they is, but you know, in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, a soldier, you know what I'm saying? Who just can't wait to become hunters. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to become hunters and inflict the pain that was inflicted upon us.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's what's going on here. You gotta see that like in the spirit. Like
absolutely.
He like, y'all can't do this is swift. This is the last hell we go through. It's gonna be forever, everlasting.
And when he was required, he put out his tongue, and that right soon.
Good night. Hold on, read that one more. He did what?
And when he was required, he put out his tongue.
And what?
And that right soon.
Keep going.
Holding forth his hands manfully.
So what did the third? So the first person went, the second person went. When the third person came for not eating the pork sandwich, after he seen his mother's scalp ripped off, tongue cut out, fingers and arms, what did he do, Hachaanakah?
Yeah, stuck his hand extended.
He stuck his tongue out and put his hands out. Stuck his tongue and his hands out. And that's why we remember these. This is just the beginning. This is only the third brother. This is just the beginning of why we're going to burn these candles and go get more candles and burn them and light it up and remember this forever and ever. But yeah, you know what I mean? He stuck his tongue in his hands out like, what? Go do what you gave me a wife. I'm not. Like, what are you really required to do? So like, go ahead, sis.
Does each candle represent each brother?
Hey, give her a hand. I've never heard that talk. That's a good observation. It might as well. Why not? It was 7 brothers and 7 candles.
Okay.
I just hate that the mama not involved in it. Maybe she's the candle. She's the candle holder. I love it. I've never heard it talk, but that's a great observation and a great point.
I wish she said I was stuck. I was
like, and I'm sure I'm going to bring it to the table. So we're going to see if there's going to be a part of it. That's a great point, sis. I love it. The mother, the holder, that might be a thing. We're going to bring because they why not? Jeez. You know what I mean? I like it. But but we'll see, like I said, we're part of a body. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, man, these 7 brothers and this mother, man, was absolutely glorious. And I want to get to the rest of it before it's too late, for the time's sake, because I want y'all to hear this story, man, and teach this story. It's in the Maccabees, it's in the Bible. Teach this story to your family, to your children, to let them know to stand for something.
Right.
Don't just say, hey, if I don't sell them the dope, somebody else gonna sell it to them. Like, you don't want that blood on your hand.
Right.
If it's on somebody, let that blood be on somebody else's hand. You know what I'm saying? Like, be the change you want to see in the world. You know what I'm saying? You might have to do that. Like, this is something your ancestors did. Your great uncles and the grandma did. Great auntie. This is something that they did, and it really happened, man. And remember that when you faced with a decision to do something evil. And remember what they did. Remember the sacrifice that they made when you sitting there thinking about to not smoke the weed, to not suck the white man's penis, to not, you know what I'm saying? Like, for as long as, for as